250 करोड़ की शादी और तकरीबन 5000 करोड़ का फ्रॉड। जी हाँ, मैं बात कर रहा हूं महादेव ऐप की। एक ऐसा ऐप जो ऑनलाइन बेटिंग का गेम प्ले करता है और इस ऐप के साथ बहुत सारे लोग बेटिंग में इन्वॉल्व होते हैं। दिस इंक्लूड्स क्रिकेट, वॉलीबॉल, फुटबॉल एंड अदर गेम्स as well as teen patti, card and other games are also included in such apps. But it is not just about this app, it is about the financial frauds which are happening in India these days. So in today's session of NewsKase, we'll be talking about the fin trap, where many innocent people are being trapped due to such financial frauds like Mahadev app and certain more apps. So let's discuss the changing environment of financial frauds and how the regulating bodies are going to regulate it and what are the various updated guidelines for this. So let's start. The financial frauds which are happening in India, if we start with, it can start with the scam 1993, which has just made wide news all around the world with almost 5,000 crore scam. But post that, many financial frauds have come forward and certain new financial frauds which have been largely in news, we'll be discussing a bit about them, and then post that the other part of discussion will happen. So let's see what are those frauds. First, the Sharda chit fund scam, which is from the last few years, but still so much in public debate and very warm discussion all around about it. This scam was of 10,000 crore rupees and costed 277 innocent lives. This app has changed many people's life and made their lives much difficult. And I have just told you about the Mahadev app, where largely the unemployed youth was involved in this segment, when the entire people who were involved in such investments or betting operations have been seen, most of them were the youths. Though the ED has summoned some Bollywood actors, some politicians at the same time to cross-check where this money which has come from such app has been utilized, because there are chances and there are some connections with Pakistan and Hawala operations of this app. Thereafter, another strategy, that is the duping strategies, where the investors are giving some lalach of that if you will invest within some time you will get back a good return at higher prices. So that is something which is called as duping strategy. And because of that, around 15,000 individuals have lost 700 crore rupees in recent past. And thereafter, the investment frauds which are happening on daily basis, and you can see the newspaper, you will see many influencers are doing such frauds and giving some misleading products and advertisement, which is leading to huge losses of not just money but also lives at the same time. You might have heard about the BAP of chart. The person who was just giving fake ideas of how to invest in the stock market and other things, and based on that many people have invested, and the amount which the regulating agency is about to recover from him is 17 crore rupees. There was a similar news of a 21-year-old guy in Mumbai. He has done the same thing and he has almost earned around 17 crore rupees for the same. So these are not just two guys, there are numbers, there are many numbers of such people. And thereafter there comes another type of new fraud, that is the crypto investment fraud, which is happening at a very higher pace. Due to the anonymous transaction of crypto, you will never be able to know who has started it and where your money is going to, and many people's money have hacked up. The recent example is of the Vault, which was dealing in cryptocurrency investment, and you might have heard that Vault has closed its operation. You cannot transact, you cannot withdraw, and you cannot deposit in this crypto operation part, where people were investing in cryptocurrency. So with the increasing technology, increasing way of investments, the frauds are also increasing at the same time. So in today's session, now we are going to discuss about the Finfluencers, how they influence the innocent public and what is the impact on the innocent public of such Finfluencers, and how they are minting money, and at the same time what are the regulatory concerns based on it. So the impact of all these frauds, if you largely see, it is not just limited to the loss of hard-earned money, but also the loss of lives. The one thing which I just told you in Sharda Chit Fund scam, where 277 people have committed suicide. And the loss of social securities. In such policies, many small people are there, because in chit fund, the initial investor gets the return on the later investor's deposit. So based on certain schemes like Ponzi schemes and other schemes, many people have been facing frauds, not just in one state, but with most of the states, and especially the people who belong to such rural areas or tier 2 cities are more prone to such traps. And they are being trapped based on these frauds also. So let's discuss about the Finfluencers now, who are largely dealing in those financial products related to investments and cryptocurrency investments so far. So Finfluencers, who are they? What they do? So Finfluencers are the people who have good presence on social media. These influencers influence the people based on their followers and social media account, and based on that, they offer the financial advices, they share certain experiences of money management, and discuss various investment trends. And these trends and topics makes them pro because of their trial and error method largely. Most of them are not qualified enough to give certain advices, but based on their follower and reach, they are doing so far. And based on their recommendations, the investors are investing in different shares and policies. And these investors are becoming the gullible investors who easily believe on such Finfluencers. Now the point comes, why they believe? What is the reason behind it? So the first and foremost reason is lack of education and awareness about the finance topic, where to invest and how to do the wealth management part. And based on that, they are being exploited on the hope of getting better returns. These Finfluencers deal in the stocks, the budgeting, property part, the cryptocurrency, and financial trends, and make people to invest in all these parts so that the wealth management aspects can be made better for near future prospects. And the risks are associated with them are their qualification, whether they are qualified or not. If yes, the level of qualification, and along with that, the experience they are holding in the same sector. And the another thing is the potential risk which is associated with the recommendation. Now we all know, we have seen that in the economics part it is very simple, where there will be higher risk, there will be higher gain. And at every place, the mutual funds ho gaya ya share market ho gaya, they are subject to market risk. So that subject to market risk, the more you want to gain, the more risk will be there. But what they are doing few things like they are writing guaranteed free return. That is the guaranteed return or risk-free return. That is merely not possible as their terms and condition doesn't hold any clause like that. तो इस तरीके से वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों को अपने बहकावे में, अपने फांसे में ले रहे हैं और उसकी वजह से बहुत सारे लोग अपनी गाढ़ी कमाई को डुबा रहे हैं. These are the things which you must know about such Finfluencers. Post that, the regulatory concerns related to them and how government is dealing with it, that you must know. The regulatory context or concerns are they lack clear educational or professional qualification in finance. That is one thing. Another thing is about their competence, how competitive they are and how competence is there in them. And the absence of transparency. The way they are selling the products, the higher hopes they give to people is largely opaque in nature. They don't have any concrete and transparent document for the same. That is the biggest problem. And thereafter, they are not registered as an investment advisor with the regulatory body like SEBI. And most of the social media influencers who claim to be the Finfluencers are a part of this segment. And because of that, many people are facing losses, and especially the people of tier 2 cities. Post that, there are certain government responses which you need to know, like MeTi, which has demarcated that the advertisements which are done did not endorse any individual or platform, and the SEBI has given certain penalization if any unregistered entity is found using the name of any SEBI registered entity. For example, you are unregistered with SEBI, but you are using some other entities which is registered with SEBI's name for your own benefit for making investments. And then the Advertising Standard Council of India, that they say they will regulate the incorrect advice that can result in potential financial losses to people. So these are the three major things which we'll be talking about, especially about the ASCI and the SEBI we'll be discussing about. So let's discuss what these regulatory bodies role these regulatory bodies are playing and how this is going to impact and crack down these Finfluencers. And this has significantly cracked down also. So let's see that. The Advertising Standard Council of India, this is a self-regulatory body which was established in the year 1985. This ASCI resolves the issues which are around dishonest or misleading acts, indecent or offensive ads, harmful ads, and ads that are unfair in competition. And if we see, the Finfluencers come in this first category, which shows dishonest and misleading ads, where they mislead and do the dishonest promises with the investors who are going to invest in their promises. How they do so far? They tell that you should invest in the shares of this particular A or B or C company, and what they get some referral amount in return based on the investments which will happen. And this has shown certain reports that the shares, for say, if they were 5,000, now they have increased to 20,000 or 21,000. Then this ASCI, it looks at advertisements across all media types and formats such as TV, print, digital, outdoor, radio, point of sales, and claims made on the package part. Now the point is, they are looking on all the advertisements and all type of media channels. It not just include the TV, it includes all the media platforms, including the social media also. And they work closely with different segments or stakeholders in the matter of consumer protection that you need to know. So ASCI work, it's a self-regulatory body, and they get a legal status from the TV Network Regulation Act 1994. ASCI code is made from that, and that gives them legality, and that makes their role much stronger. Post this, you need to know a bit about SEBI also. The SEBI's proposed guidelines first, and that is, it has mandated that the registered and regulated entities should not share any confidential information with the unregistered entity. If they do so, there will be certain penalization and certain punishments based on that. And the Finfluencers who are registered with the regulator, stock exchange, or the Association of Mutual Funds of India, they should give their contact details, registration number, showcase, and also give certain redressal helpline so that the customer grievances can be better addressed at the same time. And post that, a bit about SEBI you need to know so that the entire information of SEBI you will get. SEBI, and especially the kind of questions which are coming in the UPSC, the powers, the functions it performs. So first is its quasi-judicial functions, where it has the authority to deliver judgments related to fraud and other unethical practices in terms of the securities market. If there is any unethical practice which is happening in the security market, or fraud which is happening, so SEBI has the authority of this quasi-judicial aspect which can deliver judgment. And then thereafter their quasi-executive aspect, जहाँ पे वो empowered है implement करने के लिए कुछ regulations, jurisdictions, judgments को violators के against, and there also they are authorized to inspect books of accounts and also takes the legal action whichever is required at that time if there is some violation of that. Their quasi-legislative aspect leads to they reserve the right to frame certain rules and policies at the same time for the regulation to protect consumers' interest, and also the regulation consists of insider trading regulations, listing aspect, and the disclosure requirements. So with all these aspects, SEBI is the main body which regulates the share market and the capital market to a larger extent. With all the entire discussion, the major key takeaways which will be for you are the SEBI itself, the Securities and Exchange Board of India, and the Advertising Standard Council of India, which you need to know largely from the prelims perspective. And the role which Finfluencers are playing, you need to understand that as well. You may get certain questions based on that, and just keep this understanding for your betterment. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you.